This is what my program looks like immediately after being launched. This is the start page. It contains links to the 3 different informational pages. This is the sea ice informational page. It has some background information and links to the graphs. When I click the graphs button, I'm taken to a graph showing all of the data in the sea ice dataset. This is one of the 2 graphs in my program that has custom time parameters. This is where the user will input their chosen start date and end date to more closely examine the graph. To demonstrate this, I'll show from 1986 to 1999. When I click the Update Graph button, we can see that the graph has changed. If, however, I put in a date that is out of range, I click Update Graph and the graph doesn't change, but an error message has been output to the terminal. If I put something in that isn't a date, it is recognized as not being a date, and another error message is output to the terminal. The second graph in the sea ice section is the yearly mean for the northern and southern hemisphere. This features a line of linear regression for each of the northern and southern hemispheres, with a prediction that spans into the future, well past 2020. On this graph, I have included the PMCC for the northern and southern hemispheres, and a small explanation about this that will help a user, especially a learner, engage with my program. The third sea ice graph is the yearly mean combined, to encompass the first 2 together, both hemispheres together on one graph, and show the general trend of all sea ice over time. The final graph, just to show the yearly fluctuation, is the monthly mean radial plot. This is a cyclical graph, and you can clearly see a circular pattern, but there are dips in the warmer months and highs in the colder months. This is briefly explained below to help a user engage with the information. When I click back, I'm taken back to the informational page, and when I click home, I'm taken back to the start page. This is the hub of my program, where I can access every page. So if I want to go to the carbon dioxide data, I click on that, and then I can access the graph that corresponds to that, which is the second graph of my program that has custom time parameters available. When I go back to the comparison page, this is acting as a conclusion to my program, and it has a graph of linear regression between carbon dioxide and sea ice, and it's a way of linking both datasets together just for a final conclusion with the PMCC, which is one of the complex mathematical functions that I performed on the data, and it helps the user come to an informed conclusion.